Hey there guys and gals, welcome back. Today we're going to look at a fairly new, recent, free online poker game that's available on Steam. I did come across it yesterday by browsing some of the free games, and it was one of the top new ones, and decided to check it out. And this is called Governor of Poker 3, and like I said, it just got released on the PC, and it's been available for the handheld devices like iPhones for probably a couple years. And obviously the first other two Governor Pokers were available on the handheld devices. But this is the first time they released it on PC, and I just looked today and it's available on Mac also. So let's take a look at it. One of the neat features about this one, it's cross-platform games, so you can play against people on the mobile device. If they're using like a web page, I believe they can play it through Facebook maybe, and you can play against people on their PCs. So yeah, it's pretty cool. There's a couple things I don't like about it, and we'll discuss that in the end. But for right now, we'll jump on in here and take a quick look at it because I want to do some recordings on this, doing some of the tournaments. So if you look at the interface, it's pretty simple because it's basically a port over from the handheld devices. So it's going to just look like handheld device kind of stuff. All the buttons are big and they're accessible. So yeah, you got your, once you log in, I think it gives you a character number or something like that, but you can change that by going in here. You can choose your name to whatever, and it'll pull your profile picture from your Steam profile, and then in here it shows you all the games you've been in, big wins, how much money you got, and what level you are. This whole row layout is pretty much your career through gaining experience and be able to progress and play higher roller casinos and whatnot. I believe you start out, I honestly can't remember, maybe 10 to 20k, and then obviously you win it throughout playing. And gold, I think you probably start out with, they gave you 10 gold. You get more through like doing these achievements here, which there's certain things like rebuy one time, get a certain hand, or take out 4 players to make them go broke or something like that, and you'll get experience and some of this gold. And the gold is basically used to buy some, you can come in here and just buy some hats for your character. There's different types of hats you can get into. Won't go too much in details on there. There's so much stuff you can check out. And then there's some pins you can throw on your hat. And basically this is what your view looks like when you're in the card table like this. So basically that's why you would buy a hat, because you start out with this beat up one right here. And then you can buy a shirt color or whatever you want. So that's what the gold is for. Got your unused messages. This is where your friends are. And your settings here. And then what's this? Oh, this is your basically week leaderboard, and they're split by areas from here. So you got the beginners lake, high roller valley, profess, and gold rocks. So you come down here and check out how you're doing in beginners lake, and it shows you your place here. So I'm 16,000 and something like that placement, and I guess it resets every 4 days, something like that. And then there's a push and fold. I don't know what that excuse me, I don't know what that play mode is. Sit and go is like a small tournament, and we'll take a look at that when we jump into the closer look at the different types of games you can get into. And then obviously you can get you can play blackjack in here too, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, I guess you can buy chips with real money. You purchase real. You purchase your play chips with real money, but this is not real play chips. It's just, you know, if you run out and you want to keep playing, it's up to you. I mean, I'll never do it. I'll probably never hit zero because I've been playing poker for a long time. So you got free chips you get here every so often. Click down here as the counter, it goes down. Play sit and go, quick stuff buttons out here. But let's jump down here. Oh, there's your shop button. Rookie Desert. This is basically when you get broke and you probably get like maybe $1,000 balance or something like that, and you want to grind your way back up. You got to start way on the bottom. But normally they don't start you this far. When you start in the game for the first time, they're gonna put you at beginner's lake here, and then you unlock different buildings here. So you're gonna start at Poker Shack, which your minimum buy-in is you're gonna at least have $1,000, but your max is 5K, and then I believe the blinds are 25.50. And then once you get higher levels, you can unlock some of these different cash games. You can basically go around this way. You get Sit and Go, which is a tournament style that is a little bit faster pace. Most of the time Sit and Go is usually a couple tables, and you just play out, and the tournament is usually the top 2 guys. With Sit and Go here, it's only one table of, I believe, 5 or 6 players, and you get cashed out. The first and second place get cashed out, so that's pretty nice. And they usually last about 20-30 minutes. Depend. It might be go quicker, a little bit longer, but Sit and Goes are a really popular tournament just to sit down, play a tournament, and leave, because they're smaller venues. Like I said, usually in some of the casinos, they're usually about 1 to 2 tables at least, and consisting of what, 9 players per 8 or 9 players per table. So yeah, they're a lot quicker. Your Riverboat here is your big tournament style, and this counter, when it goes down, is when the tournament is actually going to start. And you just go click in here, and if you want to get started in here, I believe you just hit play, and there should be a buy-in amount here. And there's also a ranking, and it tells you how much to buy in here, what the blinds are, and there's a dress code. And you basically, it'll give you information what your total winning is. You can win a lot of stuff in the tournament area here, which is pretty cool. So it got your regular tournament. I don't know why it said that started and it shot me into the plane right away. I don't know how that works. Anyways, then you have your Turbo here, which is kind of a faster cash game, which the timer between hands goes a lot faster, so you gotta make decisions a little bit faster. So for people that are a little bit more in a hurry. And I'm not too familiar with push and hold. Lock now for gold. Oh, so you probably play for this gold here, I guess. Maybe. So then you back out here, and then you can go to your high roller valley once you get to these certain levels here, and they're basically set up the same way as they are in the other areas, but they're obviously very high stake stuff until you go all the way over to the what area is this? Gold Rock. Can imagine with some of the buy-ins, and 10 million to buy in. The blinds are like 25,000 to 50,000, so that is pretty crazy. So yeah, that is Governors of Poker 3. So the couple things that I don't like, one of them is actually getting fixed. I went on the forums and mentioned something about it, is that if I play this on my mobile device, I pretty much have to create another account that's separate from my PC version. And the one thing I wanted to see was be able to sync multiple devices. So if I play on PC and have this account, and I want to get away from the PC or whatever, and don't want to play on the PC, and say I'm like somewhere else and pull up my phone like, oh, okay, I want to play some poker, I can't sync up with this because it's a separate account. So I think they're going to resolve that probably soon, where it's all going to be one account. So when I jump on my iPhone, I'll be playing with this same account here, because it doesn't make sense to have multiple accounts on different devices, especially nowadays, where a lot of these games that have multi-platform do sync with each other and have the same account. So that was one of the main problems I was having with the game, and they're actually resolving that pretty soon, so I'm glad they're doing that. So that'd be pretty cool, just to jump on my phone once in a while and play this game. But I'm glad they have something like this on PC, because I like to play poker sometimes on PC, just sit on my big computer chair and just sit in front of my big screen and play some cards or listen to music in the background or whatever. Sometimes on the phone it's a little small. I don't really like to do it. Maybe if I'm traveling or something like that, if I'm in a hotel room, need to check some, just want to relax, unwind from a day's travel, go for it, take a look at it on your phone and play it, and that'll be pretty cool. And then whenever they sync the devices, add that feature, and that would be pretty nice. But yeah, right now this is the only one on Steam right now that you can do online multiplayer. I've been actually waiting for something like this to come out on Steam, and I'm glad I found it. It's pretty simple. I mean, I downloaded it, and within 5 minutes, it was less than 5 minutes, and set up everything, and was ready to play. It's really hard for me to find some sort of software nowadays to play, because I used to play many years ago in real life tournaments, played online a lot, and it's really hard because the US government doesn't allow US players to play for cash games, online poker. So a lot of these poker sites, that even if you want to play a free roll or just play with play money, they don't allow American players to create an account at all. So they booted a lot of American players out. So there was no way for me to practice, and sometimes getting these online poker programs anyways, you'll get like a third-party software that comes on there, and I don't want to deal with all that. I just want to jump in and play, and it's been like about 5 years since I really played poker, so we'll probably jump in here and get going on some of this and get us refreshed. So, and the second thing I don't like is, if we jump into a cash game here, is the timer that you have to make a call and make a bet. You'll see here, this little timer gauge here, it actually goes down really fast. I think I timed it as about 8.5 seconds. And then the turbo one they have here, it goes 7 seconds. And that is not much difference. Other softwares like Zynga and Poker Kings on the iPhone and mobile devices, their regular games go about 17 seconds for Zynga and 19 seconds for Poker Kings, their regular games. And then of course their fast games or their turbos are like Zynga's like 7 seconds and Poker King's 9 seconds. So that's the only thing I don't like about this, because there's usually 2 phases when you're playing poker. The first phase, when it's on you, is whether or not to play a hand or fold it. And then once you have that, it's your betting phase. And then you're going to figure out how much you're going to be betting depending on your hand. So those 2 phases is just not enough time in 8.5 seconds, which is almost considered turbo, because turbo is 7 seconds. So that's the one thing I don't like. So I kind of message him. Hopefully the developers, maybe you guys are watching, maybe got my message, is to increase this time here. because it doesn't give you a lot of time to think. I've lost a few good hands. I had yesterday, I was actually recording a test recording of this, and there was the flop came up, and my hand basically flopped full house on the turn. And once I realized it, I sat there for a second and I said, okay, I'm going to play this hand. I don't think anybody else is going to have anything good. And then when I went into betting, that was the other phase. And then I was deciding what to bet, the pot size or double the blinds or go all in. Let's see here, he's a slider here and whatnot. By that time it happened, right as I put in my bet, it folded. And I lost my hand, and it was a really good hand. I had a full house, so that's the one thing I don't like. That's the second thing I don't like. Especially to a new player that's not used to the slider, it's a little takes getting used to. I was playing a day and I got a little bit used to it and got a little bit quicker, but I'm used to having a little bit more time for that, thinking more, and I can understand, you know, there's two different types of game. I mean, there's probably some players that want to go faster, but they have turbo in here. You go out here, they have the turbo games here, which the timers are supposed to go faster, which is understandable. So they can cater to both players who want a little bit more time to think, and then they have the turbo stuff. Because I'm used to playing real life, and real life you have a little bit more time. You don't have unlimited amount of time, but you have a little bit more time. I mean, you don't feel like you're rushed and stuff. So that's the only other thing I didn't like about it. But hopefully they maybe watched this or got my message and hopefully try to fix that a little bit. Because like I said, the other poker apps and other poker programs are like that. They just go a little bit slower if you want to, unless it's turbo or whatever. So that is the look at this. So yeah, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Like I said, it's nothing amazing graphically in the user interface. It's just basically what you would see on the mobile devices, but it's something nice to have in front of your computer screen here, just to sit back and play a little bit of poker games. And I really like the theme of this, the kind of the Wild West, where you progress through here and you can kind of see the different saloons and stuff like that, people walking around, and then you have the riverboat. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I kind of like the theme of it. So alright, I guess that's it on this look at Governor Poker 3. So yeah, if you guys are looking for decent poker game to get into, like I said, go to Steam. I'll put the link down below in the description if you don't know where to find it, but you can definitely find it on Steam. Downloads in a couple minutes, and then you'll be right into your game. And then if you want to change your name, just come on up here and hit this button right here, and you'll be able to change your name here. And then hopefully, I don't know when the developers are going to fix the to have the multiple accounts sync from multiple devices. So I would wait to get it on the mobile device until they update it. So I would wait for that, and then once they do that, grab it on the iPhone or whatever, Android, whatever mobile device you have, and definitely take it on the go for you. So alrighty guys, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye guys.